In this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can parse data from a PDF and manipulate the data and then also output it into a spreadsheet. So let's get straight into it. All right, so over here we have a PDF. This is a mock PDF that I created. It's an invoice and it has a bunch of important data here that we're gonna parse out, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how it works first. So here we have the invoice, and I also made a Google Sheets here that has invoice number, bill from company, bill to company, invoice date, due date, total due, money-wise, and this is what I'm going to try and parse out here. So if I go into my workflow here and I just click execute, as you can see, first it downloads a file, and then we use this new Gemini node to actually analyze the document. This makes this whole workflow 10 times easier than it used to be. So I'm going to show you guys how that works in just a second. But now if we go back to our mock invoice here, as you can see, we have parsed out the invoice number, and the company names, invoice date, due date, and total due. So let me show you guys step by step exactly how to set this up. All right, so let's start right here. We have our trigger node, which is just a, when you click execute here, it triggers the flow. And then the first thing we're gonna want is we type in Google Drive, and we are gonna look for download file. Once you have opened your download file module, you want to make sure you are connected to your Google Drive account with your credentials. And then you want to have resource on file, operation as download. And then over here, we're going to pick the file. So for example, I have a mock invoice here as a PDF. So I'm going to write mock_in, and that should be enough. So as you can see, we have found the file right here. We just click right there. And now what happens when we click execute step here is you can see that some binary data has appeared, and this is just the downloaded version of the PDF in n8n. So that's good, we have that. Now the next node we're gonna use is the new Gemini node that I was talking about earlier. And this is very helpful to analyze data. You can analyze audio, transcribe a recording, analyze document, which is what we're going to use. So these are some very cool newer features that I'm really enjoying right now. And what we need to change here first is the input type. So instead of the document URL, we want to do binary file, since we have the binary file in the previous node. And then from the list of models here, we can choose a pretty cheap model. So I would usually do 2.5 Flash. This is a good model to use. And then over here, we're gonna build a prompt to extract that data, which I have already done in this module right here. So we're just gonna copy and paste, and I'll walk through it very simply. Also, if you want this workflow or you want the prompt or anything in this video, you can go into the description and join my school, and you'll be able to download this workflow and try it out for yourself. So as you can see here, we have the system instruction for the prompt. You are a data extraction assistant. Your task is to read invoice documents and extract the requested fields accurately, returning the output in clean JSON format. And then we have the user prompt here, extract the following fields from the invoice text. And then we just tell it what we want to extract right here. And then I added this part where it says return the result in JSON format, because we want it to be returned in JSON, and I gave it an example. But this Gemini node actually can't do that yet. So right now it just kind of puts one output with all the data in there, but I'll show you guys how we could get around this pretty easily. But now with that, I'm gonna pin this just so that we don't have to rerun that. And then I'm gonna execute this to show you guys what happens. And make sure, okay, so yeah, you can't pin this if you wanna run it. So sorry about that. So we're not gonna pin it, but we're gonna run it right here. And I'll show you guys what it looks like when it finishes. All right, so it just finished, and as you can see right here, this is what I was talking about. It kind of just gives us a big ass response of text right here, not in proper JSON format. So what we do to fix this is I added a regular OpenAI message model. So we just write OpenAI here, and we're going to message a model. And then the model here will do 4.1 mini, just because it's pretty cheap. And then what we'll do is we want to click here, output content as JSON. This is very important. And then I'm going to show you guys the little prompt. So I just kind of copy and pasted the prompt from earlier. So I just kind of gave it the data and I said, take this data and return the result in JSON format. And I gave the example. So I'm just going to copy and paste that straight into here. And this is just a variable. So basically how you get this is from the last output, you can drag and drop just like this. And all that information that was in your last variable, you can dynamically move it to your next module. So that's all I did right there. I kind of give it this block of text and I say to organize the data. So what happens if we execute this? I'll show you guys. Let's see if I can hopefully pin this. Okay, yeah, I can pin that. So now if I run it, as you can see, we don't have to rerun this. That's what pinning does. It kind of pins the information. So what you can see here is we have the output and now it's much cleaner. So if we look at it in a table format, you can see here that we have the variables each filled out with what we want. We could kind of see it better in schema here. So this is the variable and then we have the answer here, variable answer. So as you can see, each variable has the correct corresponding answer that we wanted. And now it's how we can manipulate this data. So I'm just going to pin this as well. And then like we said, we want to move it to a Google Sheets. But honestly, from this point, you can do anything with the data. You can do calculations. You can, you can create anything you want with this workflow, with this data. This is just the basic on how to parse out the data from the document, and then you can kind of do anything you want with it. You can fully customize this for clients. This is a very useful and powerful trick using this Gemini node right here. So let's get to the Sheets here. We're going to open Google Sheets and we click append or update row, and then we're going to pick from the list. So I believe, right, it was mock invoices. So I'm just going to write mock invoices right here. Oh, and it could not load. Okay, we're going to pick it right there. And then it's just going to be sheet 1 because I didn't change the name. And then you're going to see this option right here. So you want to leave it on map each column manually. And then columns to match on, you're just going to select the invoice number. And with this is just so that like if you already had the invoice on the sheet, it's not going to do a duplicate of it, right? So this is very useful. You can rerun this many times with different invoices and you won't have duplicates. So make sure you don't just create a new row, but you use the append or update. That's much better in this scenario. And now we're just going to drag and drop to connect all the data. So we're just going to drag each variable into its corresponding title right there. And we're going to get all that data right into there. So once you do all that, we can just run this whole workflow. And these are pinned, so it's going to be much quicker. But as you can see, it should have updated the sheet. So if we come to the sheet right there, we have the extracted invoice data. This is really useful because you can add AI agents connected to the sheets. There's many different things you can build from here, but this is just the basics that I wanted to show you guys. So if you did enjoy this video, please leave a subscribe and a like. Also, if you want to find more of my workflows or even download this one right here and use it for yourself, you can go straight to the school in the description below. Just download that file. And I'll show you guys, you can click right here and you do import from file and it will straight up open the entire flow for you. Also, I have a bunch of other resources in there. If you want to learn dropshipping by any chance, I have a full course in there as well. But other than that, I hope you liked the video and see you next time. Bye.